Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of LanceScurv. We're going to talk about something that many of us have experienced before in this life when we didn't heed advice and found ourselves with hard heads. And not at every case, but many of us have learned our lesson. And I'm focusing on the gentlemen. And we can do another show where we focus on the ladies. But I'm going to go deep on this one. And the title of this is Let Her Move In With You. Are you sure you really want to do that? I'm going to take a second and make sure to change these alerts on my phone, because every time I go live, everybody decides to start sending me stupid. I'm not saying everybody's sending me stupid stuff, but there are some who are sending me stupid stuff that they get a thrill from hearing my phone ring when I do go live. So now we took care of that, and the show must go on, because there's certain points that I want to bring up that we don't usually think about as men when we dive into something that we could have taken our time and kept ourselves in check and improved and better. So in order to not let this phone run out, I'm going to put my battery in, let everybody file on in. Let me see who's coming on in here. Let me see. Okay. Diane, welcome on in. Thank you for being here, Queen Sister Diane. And I have a lot of other alerts from, what's that other one that I broadcast on? It's not too popular, but it's like a lot of spam. I don't think you can see it though, but we're going to move forward. Anyway, I'm going to read from my notes and make some comments, and then we're going to mush it on up as we get all of that in, because I want to get every piece of idea and thought as I jotted them down. I want to get it in here. And I'm going to have to record the audio separately, because sometimes with the live stream, you have a little lull, a little blackout inside. I'm going to fix very soon, but let me do this. Hit record button. And we're good to go. But, you know, there are truths we don't often speak about, especially in the Black community. Truths that cut deep because they strike at the heart of love, family, and respect. Now, mind you, we're talking about moving in together. A man having his woman or a woman move in with him. I'm not going to bash women. I just want to clarify the possibilities of what goes on when two people get together and they may not really be aware of what they're getting themselves into. And this can be with two good people who are living a pristine life, but there's certain things that happen no matter who you are, no matter what the age group. But I will focus on, or really say, if you are younger you are, the more you want to hear this, right? One of the most dangerous mistakes many men make is believing that moving in with a woman is always a natural step forward in a relationship. On the surface, it may look like progress, sharing bills, waking up together, creating a home. What's wrong with that? But beneath that surface, something more serious is happening. When two people decide to live together before marriage or commitment has been deeply tested, a silent shift takes place. What was once romantic often turns into conflict. And what once felt like growth can easily become decline. Many men are blindsided by this change, and the results can break not only the relationship, but also the spirit of the man himself. This is not about love alone. Love is fragile. Respect, however, is the foundation that keeps a bond strong. When a woman loses respect for a man, the relationship begins to collapse from the inside out. Many men fail to understand this truth until it's too late. I'm talking something real here, y'all. Welcome on in, Brother Landon. Our community has suffered too many broken homes, too many children raised without fathers, and too many women left bitter and unfulfilled. These patterns do not appear by accident. They are the results of choices often made in blindness that weaken the structure of family life. Cohabitation, living together without clarity and boundaries, is one of those dangerous choices. Dangerous indeed. This expression will reveal the hidden truths about living together, the silent tests women run, the red flags men often ignore, and the one rule every man must follow if he wants to keep his respect, his peace, and his future intact. There's a shift that happens when you live together. When a man and woman live separately, each brings their best self forward during the time they share. Isn't that true? The man leads with confidence. The woman admires his independence, and attraction is high. But the moment a woman moves in, the performance drops. She no longer feels the need to compete for his commitment. Her focus changes from attraction to evaluation. Suddenly, everything is under judgment: his habits, his discipline, his vision for the future. Before, working late looked ambitious. Now it seems selfish. Before, his quirks were cute. Now they are viewed as weaknesses. This is not because she's malicious, but because her psychology shifts the moment she shares a home. For men, moving in feels like achievement. For women, moving in feels like a new test. She begins to ask, can he lead me? Can he protect me? Can I respect him long term? When those questions go unanswered, attraction surely dies. Love alone cannot hold a family together. A woman can love a man and still walk away if she no longer respects him. Respect is the anchor that keeps love steady. Without it, attraction turns cold, intimacy dries up, and the bitterness takes its place. Too often, men think they are being good partners by compromising on everything. They confuse submission with peace. But every time a man gives up his frame, his vision, his boundaries, his sense of self, he becomes less of the man she once admired. She may thank him in the moment, but inside, resentment grows. In the Black community, especially, this pattern has been devastating. Too many men surrender their leadership role in the home, believing it will create harmony. Instead, it kills attraction and destabilizes the family structure. The moment a woman moves in, she begins to test boundaries. At first, it may seem small. Where you place your shoes, how often you call your friends, what time you come home. But these are not random complaints. They are survival tests. She's asking, does his word matter? Will he stand firm, or will he bend at every frown? Other tests follow. She tests your ambition by pulling you toward comfort. She tests your emotional control by provoking conflict. She tests your masculinity by pushing against your leadership. These are not games. They are built into her psychology. If you fail them, she cannot trust you. If she cannot trust you, she cannot respect you. These are signs that a relationship is already failing once cohabitation begins. These include casual disrespect, sarcasm, eye rolling, mocking, loss of intimacy. Excuses replace affection. Colonizing the home. She redecorates and reshapes the environment until it feels like her house, not yours. Isolation from your mission. She distracts you from your goals until years have been washed and wasted. Endless conflict. Arguments repeat with no resolution. Threats of leaving. Instead of problem solving, she dangles the breakup. Loss of leadership. You feel like a roommate instead of a man. Ignoring these red flags is the path to ruin. Every day, they are left unchecked. Respect erodes further. The power dynamics you must never surrender. There are 5 lines a man must never cross when living with a woman. Control of your time. Never abandon your mission or goals. Control of your emotions. Never let anger, sulking, or instability rule you. Control of finances. Never surrender the final responsibility for money. Control of your social. Never shrink your world into just us. Control of your boundaries. Never tolerate disrespect or invasion of your principles. Now, this is not to be mean and make the woman the enemy, but like I said earlier, she will lack respect for you if you're not that same man that she met. Not that this is a game of power. Of course, you can give in with certain things, but at the core, your independence, your strength, your clarity of vision, all of those things attracted her. It turned her on. I don't mean it just turned her on sexually. It's a psychological, spiritual thing, and she will test you. You take a car for a test drive, don't you? Well, during the relationship, she's going to test you to make sure that you're still the strong man. We don't mean just with muscles. We don't mean just blindly saying no and bucking against her and saying, no, I'm never going to change. No, you can also compromise. But if you erode into something else other than what she was attracted to for her needs, because she has needs too. You have needs, she has needs. You see? The one rule every man must follow. The truth is simple. Never give up your frame. Your frame is your mission, your vision, your sense of self. It is the structure that holds the family together. If you hand it over, you become a shell of the man you once were. She may love you at first, but once she loses respect, she will eventually despise you. Because see, you're supposed to be the captain of the ship, not in a egotistical way, but where she can look at you and feel good and say, wow, that's my man. I know he got me. No woman wants to be with a man who can't handle the responsibilities. So when you appear to be a bit weaker and maybe giving up your responsibilities and passing it on, she can handle it. She's strong, but she shouldn't have to say she's strong. And she shouldn't have to handle what you need to do as a man. You see, we got it blurred these days. We have too many men who are effeminate or effeminized. They can still work and take care of things, but it's something about that man's demeanor and what he does and what he produces to secure that woman, where she, in the back of her mind, in the deepest recesses of her soul, she knows that no matter what, you're going to take care of business. You see, and now we have so many women who are masculinized, but deep down, they don't really like it. They don't like it. They have been failed by men, and now they have to take on that role. But there are many women that I know that have to be masculine in their industry, but that's not really them. They would love to let the man take the wheel in a righteous way, not where he thinks less of her. No, but be a man so she can be a woman. You see what I mean? You know, if you're not ready to enforce boundaries, don't live with a woman. If you're not living a mission, do not live with a woman. If you believe cohabitation will fix problems, you're going to only magnify them. You have to be who you are regardless. Living together without clarity and strength is not a small step. It is a turning point that can either build respect or destroy it. Too many men in the Black community have lost themselves by surrendering their leadership in the home. The results are visible: broken families, fatherless children, weakened household. See, respect is not a gift. It is earned and maintained every day. A man must never confuse compromise with submission. He must never mistake comfort for security. He must never give up the boundaries that define his manhood. A woman may love you and still leave you, but if she respects you, she will stand by you through many storms. Respect is the foundation of loyalty. Respect is the lifeline of lasting love. So men, brothers, hear this truth. Protect your frame, protect your mission, and protect your role. Your family, your peace, future depend on it. And that's the truth. See, this is no game. If you don't have a mission in life as a man, then you can date women. You can go out with them. But don't allow them to move in with you or you move in with them. Because now you got a bad situation coming. Because if you don't know who you are, you cannot find yourself through your woman, because you are made to lead. This is not sexist talk. A woman wants to admire you. Do you know what really goes on when a woman sees you and admires you from a distance? You see, a lot of times we put up a facade. We put up an image and we speak a certain way and carry ourselves a certain way. And it appears to be that we're the real thing. But at the end of the day, the closer he gets to you, sees the facade peeling off, and you're not who you projected yourself to be, then there's going to be the disrespect. And it's not like you have to perform. It's not like you have to, perform in this way as far as the facade is concerned. but the real man who takes care of the stuff. When a woman feels like, you got my back, you taking care of business. Even if she's in the corporate world, even if she's in some high level position or whatever, and she knows that you're about taking care of business and you have a mission and you don't allow her test to knock you off what it is that you have to do. Because deep down, you may think, or she may sulk, but deep down, she said, wow, he's really about it. He's a man of his word. He's really going after this thing. Because if you don't have something that you're about, how are you going to lead her? Now, I'm not saying she's somebody who is running around with like a chicken with the head cut off and doesn't know what she wants to do in life. Look, when you board that airplane, you might get on the airplane early and it's not scheduled to taxi down that runway for a while. And you happen to sit down on the plane for a while and you see the pilots. Sometimes you get in the plane, they're already there in the cockpit. But when you see those pilots, you look at them up and down. If they look inept, if they look like they can't really handle it, just on sight alone, if you get a feeling that, am I safe in the plane with this guy? Welcome on in, Khadijah, Sister Khadijah. Glad you're here. Greetings to you also. You're going to have a funny feeling in your gut. Let me tell you something. It was a rainy night, and I found myself down in Accra. And what night was this? Well, this was many months ago. I think it was a Saturday night. And usually when I go down into the town, I don't really hang around till nighttime because I want to make sure, since I don't have my own car right now, that I can get transportation, because this is up in the mountains. And unless a taxi driver lives up here, and if it's a Saturday night, this is a very religious place, whether they really believe it or not, or feel it or not, they get ready for that and they sign off early. So I was in not a panic, but I ran into somebody that I spoke to and met before. They knew me from being online. So we were talking. It was busy. I lost track of the time. I had a couple of bags with me because every time I go down, I come up with something, waiting for the big shopping. And the time went by and I looked, I said, whoa, I should have been out here. This is 1:30 in the morning now. So I was like, I'm really gonna have to stay out here till 4:35 in the morning when the vans start running again. But luckily somebody had honked and saw me there, and they probably figured I was a tourist going to one of the nearby hotels. So I said, no, I'm going on up. Told him exactly where. He looked at me. He says, okay, I'll take you. I said, okay, how much is it going to be? He hit me with a good price. And I'm like, I don't want to say, why did you give me a good price? So he can turn around and say, oh, you want to pay more? But eventually he said he lives up that way. So it worked out for me. So I'm sitting here. It's raining. And I noticed he braked pretty hard for no reason. It's not raining too hard, but the road is slick, and the windshield, you can still see out of it. It was on the windshield wiper was on a low setting. So it's still cool. Then I noticed his head jerking. So I'm kind of looking at him out the corner of my eye. And these roads up here, unless you know them, I'm not saying they're dangerous, but there's a couple spots over here. One day when I'm coming down, I'm going to show it to you. You're going to be like, whoa, if you don't know it, you might go over the edge and go down. There's one spot in particular where they cleared everything off. Now we got up good. And I had to tell him. He said, oh, no, I know it. But when we got close to it, I'm like, hey, I was about to grab the steering wheel, and I had no confidence in this guy's ability. That's what I'm just trying to say. All of this to say that I had no confidence in his driving ability. He got us up there, but he was herky-jerky. I was wondering if he's on something. A little guy, but he was driving. I'm watching him. I was about to grab that steering wheel at any point now. And so he got me there, and it was a sigh of relief. But there was no confidence. And this is what a woman can go through when you move in together too fast if there's no real commitment and no real investigation as to what the content is of this person's character, what their work ethic is, what their loyalty and how they are with their word, after a while, it's not just about sex, brother. It's not about how you put it down in the bed or because you took her there that she's going to stay with you forever, right? Because if you don't do what you're supposed to do for yourself as a man, which is automatically going to take care of what you need to do for her. Yes, be considerate. Don't say, well, I'm all that, so you be happy with it. No, it doesn't mean you can't try to understand her. Oh, Charles McGee, tighten up. Oh, man. Come on, man. Just come on in and say something. Say something on the show, brother. Come on, man. It's been a long time. You out there in that part of the world in Florida. I'm out here in West Africa, man. Come on. Look at the top of the chat room, and there's a call-in link. But you click that link. If you don't want to show your face, you don't have to. I'd love to hear your voice, man. We go back. We go backity back. We go back. We'll keep that part of it, but we go back. Love your brother. I'd love for you to come on in. So if you go up in the top of the chat room and click that link, or you're on Facebook. So let me just put his image there. And every time he would see me, he'd say, hey, man, you got to tighten up. And every time I hear that song by Archie Bell of the Drills, tighten up. Yeah, we got some stories. We got some war stories. Good to see you, brother. Whether you coming or not, good to see you. And then I'm gonna hit you up. And my American number, my Florida number, you can call straight through with no long distance charges. I have an app that you can call through, but I never memorize people's numbers. So, I gotta pick up, or you leave me a text and let me know it out, because I get a lot of calls during the day. But that's the truth. Yeah, much love, brother. Much love, much love. Yeah. Most of the folks are on YouTube watching it, so I'm still putting your face across the screen and whatnot. I'm glad you passed on through, brother. Brought a smile to my face. But anyway, all is good. But the main thing, if you do what you need to do as a man, and what I will say about, oh yeah, that man, old school song. But what I will say about Brother Charles McGee, we're not going to go too deep. I'm just going to say things overall. I'll salute you, brother. You are a real man. You are a real man. Your determination, your stick-it-to-itiveness, you're a miracle man. We'll keep all of that between me and you. I'm not, but I'm saying it, that you will probably be very hard to find a miracle man like Brother Charles McGee. I know that personally, right? I've watched it, the determination and the growth and the where he has gone to become the man that he is. So, you never underestimate, never sometimes on first sight say, oh, I'm talking to the ladies now, because he's a brother that he takes care of business. He sure does, but he's a miracle man. Miracle man, One day I wish there's a movie, seriously, against all odds, and still succeeded and gone beyond and above and beyond. So yes, I'm always going to pay homage to you, brother. I'm glad you came through. Your story is your story. Your story is private. I know it. And take my word for it, people. There's one guy who did the damn thing on a large scale. We're not talking about materialistic running. Yeah, that comes, and that has come for him. But status, don't think you're going to underestimate somebody. This man has done it. And, for the guys who don't know, this is what attracts a real woman. It's easy to make a physical connection, or people fall in lust, or delusional things happen in their mind, and they're thinking something of you that doesn't exist, and you're thinking something of them that doesn't exist, or you're looking to them for the answer of your voids that you need to heal. Of course, we can fill each other up, but you have to take care of that on your own. The more you take care of that on your own, is the more um, fulfilling the connection that you have with someone. Because, like I said before in other shows, and I'll continue to say it, in the romantic songs, they always say, "Oh, two people becoming one." Two people becoming one? Just say two people joined and moving in unison. But don't say two people become one, because you're shortchanging yourself. Two people becoming one, you're 100%, and the next person is a 100%. If you are, you might be 97, the next person's 86. What I'm saying is that you're supposed to be whole on your own. And let's say you are 100 each. That's 200. But if you take 100% of a person and 100% of another person, and it becomes one person, now you're 50%. And this is why people lose their minds oftentimes when they break up. That's what happens. When they break up, they're lost. Because they were 100% before, now they're 50%, and they lost themselves. And this is still on the same topic, but this is why you have to have your own things, and you can overlap your interests and things. It doesn't mean like, okay, I have a whole world of my own over here and get away from it. No, but have something that brings you joy and never let that go. If the person is really with you and into you and loves you, they want you to have that. Because when you come back to them, you're more fulfilled. You're happy. You know, how'd you like it at the crochet class today? You enjoyed yourself? You saw your friends that you have certain interests together? Good. Now you're more fulfilled and you have something to share with me, whatever it may be. You might be baking or cooking or get together with some girlfriends and do something wholesome, right? So when you come back to your man, you're more fulfilled because you use different gears that you commandeer. You see, sometimes, we live together. And again, I say live together more so than marriage and commitment. And some of us get married too fast. Some of us think we're committing. And it might be an escape route from some other situation in life. Sometimes you meet somebody and you consciously and subconsciously use them because they're a way out of a situation. There's a lot of that going on. You know, the classic case of the older man who takes in a younger girl, young lady. I don't mean to say girl, but that's girl is not the right word to use, right? And she's with him, and he thinks he's older, she's younger, and she's only trying to get out of her mama's house. She's only trying to get away from another bad situation, boyfriend, whatever. And that's what it is. So you got to be careful. Okay, let's pump this bigger screen up. Let's put these logos up. We got it going on. We're going to rock like this for a little while. We had the banner, I'll throw it up a little while just so people who are coming in late can see. But that living together thing is so easy to do. Like my friend Gerald Ihukuma from Nigeria, buddy of mine from back in the 90s, got me into driving the dollar van. We used to speak a lot of wisdom, easy to get in and hard to get out. Be careful. Sounds good. Wow. We both pay the bills, and so it's easier for us to pay our bills. And you're right next to me every night in the bed, and that good old stuff you got there, you mean I can have it all the time? Don't let that intoxicate you now. Because even as a man, that will wear off. It's convenient, it's fun. Yeah, it's all good in the beginning. And I'm not doomsaying. Because even myself, I was in my 20s, and I had an offbeat kind of relationship. And those who know. But we met and didn't part for 8 years. Didn't part. You had to go to work the day. Crazy. And you can learn so much about yourself, so much about life, you know, when you have to guard yourself now as you get older and really think rational and logical. That when you meet somebody and you feel that thing, I'm not talking lust now, but whoa, better be careful. Be careful. Take your time. If it's going to be there, it's going to be there. You don't have to just run around and rush to try to catch up and be scared that it's going to go. No, maturity tells you if you want to hold on to that relationship and it's somebody worthy, work on yourself more. Make yourself more worthy. Make yourself more attractive to this young lady. I'm speaking as a man. I don't mean just getting a six pack and going to the gym, but attractive as far as your wisdom is concerned, your depth of knowledge, your rate of growth. Are you a better model today than you were last year? Or are you the same sad, sorry, bickering man who can't stop talking about things from 40 years ago, 45, 50 years ago, if you're that age? Young guys do it too. They might be 30 or 35 to my something from 15 years ago. Come on, grow up. Any car that you see that's being sold, brand new, they have the ad campaigns, they advertise, but even usually every 4 years, they'll change the look of the model. But within those 4 years, if they do it like that now, there's little changes. So if you see, for example, a 2023 Honda Accord, the 2024 may have a little different type of wing on the side or rims or something and slight. So the people who are consumers, I gotta get rid of that one. Mine is old. No, it's not. It's the way we think and the way our mind is. And this is how we do relationships. See? You get one good conversation with a young lady in a diner who's sitting in the table next to you late at night. You pissed off at something at home and you want to go out and get something to eat. And you're talking to this young lady. You're like, whoa, she's deep. Then you start thinking about illicit possibilities of what can go on if this was my woman, And then that little song pops up in your head. And when I was a kid, I used to love the song. What was it? Gladys Knight and the Pips? Such dramatic, and I was an emotional little boy. If I were your woman and you were my man, you'd have no other woman. You'd be weak as a lamb. You had the strength to walk that door. Then it was, if I was your woman, if you were, and the Pips were in the back. I never, never, never stop loving you. And I'm a little boy dreaming of this kind of love. I was a bit ahead of my time. I was so romantic. And back in the 70s, and that was the early 70s. I was born in 63. So if that song came out in 71, 72, I'm 9, 10 years old. Right? Wow. Those old songs. Now you put that romantic song and overlay it with somebody you just met, and they're putting their best foot forward, and you get to know them and you start telling them your issues and your problems at home. Of course, if they like you like that, they're not going to say anything bad about you. You good. You deserve better, baby. If I'm with you, you get that good treatment every night. I'm gonna always respect you. All this, it's always, and I'm not saying it's bad. That's a risky game. Now, I don't think Gladys Knight had any venomous intentions, because I felt that song as a kid, and she was saying it, man. And there are situations where men are treated bad. There's situations where women are treated bad, and the guy comes along like, I would never treat you this way, as beautiful as you are. Sweet. You do what for him? And the funny thing about it is you can see these same people who pledged that they would be better than the person and other. This is adult talk, because this is what happens. You see what I mean? All kind of scandalous things have been happening also, but now it's just downright gritty. What was the song by Bobby Womack? I wish he didn't trust me so much. And Bobby Womack in real life, that dude is, I would never say somebody deserves to burn in hell. Oh my God. You know about Womack? He wasn't a good guy. He was a slime ball. I ran across on YouTube the documentary about him. I gotta find it, and if I find it, I'll put it in the comment section of this video. It captivated me because I didn't know a man can go so low and then sing about it. Right? I wish he didn't trust me. That was his character. And I think he went from the wife of his buddy who sung also, I forgot the name in the group, and ran with the daughter. Oh my God. Your Boone Coon, your boy, he dies, and you've been messing with his wife. And then you go on to the daughter. And then you sing songs like this. You just straight telling yourself things back in the song came out like in 81 or something like that. And I'm down with the late 60s and 70s. When I was young, there were all kind of records sitting around from the 50s that I listened to. So my musical pedigree goes back. If it's good, I'm gonna listen to it. So there's all kind of things we can end up doing, and we can rush and end up. I mean, I have buddies of mine who are police officers, and the domestic violence cases and disruptions that happen with people of all age groups, and whether they're married or not. But a lot of it comes from people who they didn't cross every I and dot every dot every I and cross every T, right? They didn't. They let emotions get in, perception, needs, you know. Mystic Mars, welcome. Karen, yes. Yes, we're doing our thing. We're doing our thing. You're on Facebook, the YouTube people can't see you. So I'm gonna put your comment up there so they can see you. Yes, I'm still doing it. Yes. And Mystic Mars is here. But yeah, thank you for swinging through. I haven't seen you for a while, but we're still out here. We're still out here. You know, speaking from the heart and shooting from the hip. How many things in our life could have been prevented if we took our time and thought about things? You know, there's so many people that I know, and even myself, younger in life, making certain decisions that they're going to be on you for a while. And that comes with time, most of the time, where you have the wisdom to understand. And then when you have certain things on, you looked at Killjoy or really young, man, we're going to do a thing. You better understand there's things that can happen when you're young that never leave you. I never had to deal with anything that major like that, but you know, I've been in relationships that if I wasn't in that particular relationship or this particular relationship, I could have elevated even higher in certain areas. And it's not for me to say, maybe I had to go through those things to remain intact and still, but I'm good with my life where I am, you know, all I've come through, all I've seen. No, seriously, I'm gonna start sharing some other things that I've never shared before in the next upcoming shows. Nothing gory and nothing bad, but just straight up lessons that I've been through. And I think we need more of that because, like we were saying about living in the fake world, we don't have human vibration with each other anymore. It's all through technology, and this is through technology. But if we do and use the technology and open up our heart and just speak real and just stop trying to be this performer. I'm sitting here in my studio and I'm relaxed. I'm not trying to bedazzle anybody with words or anything. I'm just sitting here talking real. And I want more of that. I'm too old. And no, I can't say I'm too old for it because we got folks older than me. I'm 63 next April. You got folks older than me trying to put on the mask and the illusion and they're going to be this big star, and or they're going to fill some void or some feeling of being inadequate that they can use this. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that. I'm good where I am. I'm not what I used to be. But what was that? I'm better than what I used to be. But men focus on the physical attributes. Girl, you make a man wish for your days, because if I heard you, I'd put. Is that all you think about? Why not? With that same young lady, she can tell. Oh boy, if he was a little younger. But you don't have to go there. Share some wisdom. Give her some good conversation. Maybe your good conversation will stop her from meeting a knucklehead. You see what I mean? I've seen it in the eyes of women. They're with somebody, they half know you somewhere through somebody else, they know what you're all about, and there's a longing in their eye, not because, oh, I want to go meet him and go to bed with him. No. But you may have a very attractive attribute that the person she's with doesn't have, and she wishes he had it. You see what I mean? It may even be focused on might be someone else. And if she's not mature enough to understand what that is, and the right man / snake comes around to just use her for something because of her admiration, because of that attribute that he has, then she's going to fall into a bad situation. Men too. I should talk about this lady. I got to say it a certain way because it's people that we know, and of course it is, right? But I don't want to I want to be sharp with this story. It was, this lady was at our wedding, me and Mrs. Scurv. Let her be mad if she's watching it. I doubt if she's watching this, right? She was in the church that was Mrs. Scurv was in for many years. Mrs. Scurv didn't go after a while. She saw the fallacy and the craziness. But it was it's kind of weird, but it's not big. It wasn't tiny, but it was sizable. Folks push to know people's business. I don't care who knows that because it's the truth. And there was someone in our circle that needed counseling as a young person. And this woman, who I would say was about 10 years older than me, and Mrs. Scurv is a year behind me. She said, well, since I know the youngster, let me come by. And it was one of Mrs. Scurv's children. I'm already saying a lot. Let me talk with her to see if, little things bother you when you getting older and stuff. But I don't want to do it that way where I'm just coming. Let me come over for a week. Like I'm just kind of lounging, vacationing, because they came from South Florida up to Central Florida where we were. Okay, that sounds good. And she said, I'll find the opportune time to speak with her so she doesn't put her guard up. Okay, cool. So she eating dinner with us. She's at the house. We're going to work and everything. She's there. And so this particular morning, Mrs. Scurv got up early, to work a job that she had before, a main job. And I worked late. And was I doing shows then? No, I was just writing and drawing. I had a YouTube channel, but it wasn't really, So I'm up late, writing, go to sleep. She's up early. Mrs. Scurv, she's out the house. Everybody's out the house. All of a sudden, the bell rings, the front door. I'm half asleep. Oh, the bell rang. Let me go answer. And it was like a little after 8 in the morning. Some kind of white man out there, some kind of selling something that I didn't need. I was polite. I was mad though, because I was down in the sleep. I was shifting gears. Womp, womp. But I heard a little commotion behind me, and this church sister, true story, she was standing in the living room behind me in the hallway to the front door. I turned around half asleep. I had clothes on, but did she? Did she? You look through the wedding album with the photos, she's right there damn near in every shot. Not everyone, because it was a pretty big affair. So she's standing there with her hands on her hip, heavy makeup on her face. Just after 8 in the morning, you're not going anywhere. Not did she wait for an opportunity to speak to the family member, she was waiting for an opportunity to speak to me. Let me just say what I saw without getting too lewd. Crotchless panties, oiled up, lotioned up thighs, a little glitter on it, the stuff pushed up, hair teased up, the heavy makeup, eyeliner like Spider-Man, lips as red as the Lancescurv words above. At the time, she was 52. I will say she was very well kept, in very great shape. Not like, oh, I'm looking at it like that. No, she kept herself, a certain way. And then beyond that, she presented herself not on purpose, but she had a really good shape. I'm saying it like a doctor would. Oh man, no. She acts like a ex-porno star. Not anybody I know, but that's how she came off that morning. But I saw it in her for the days that she was there. And I was always, okay, all right, see you, good night. So I'm looking at her dead in the eye as I'm walking to try to get to her. She says, oh, are you okay? Is there anything I can help you with? And she looks down. You sure? Anything you see that you like? Come. I said, no, I'm okay. I got to go back to sleep. Oh, she had the high stiletto heels on. She came there on a mission. I went back in the master bedroom, locked the door, and went to sleep. And I told Mrs. Scurv what was going on. Your church sister, man. And she continued to walk outside in the hall, the living room, the dining room, the other living room. In Florida, some of the houses have 2 living rooms. One living room you don't go in because it's the perfect living room, and you have the other one that has a fireplace and that stuff. It's clap, 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 clap. 4 or 5 minutes in the kitchen, hoping that I got in the bed and said, maybe I should reconsider. Nobody else is home. What was that all about? What was that spirit all about? Right? So you just don't know. That could have been a disaster. And Mrs. Scurv held it in. And she came back before going back out again. She making some food. So she said, oh, would you like me to make you something? That made the woman crazy. She just packed up her stuff. She had 2 suitcases because she's going to be there for the week. She ain't finished the whole week. 3-4 days. She just walked past, hit the garage door button, went up, jumped in her car, boom, and never heard from her again. And went out to the church people, which she wasn't a member of that church anymore in Orlando because she went down more in the south near Miami. But before she left, she dropped the seeds. Oh, woke up in the bed and Lance was pinning me down trying to kiss me. What? So I put that one out there for the people who know. Now you know. Here's something. I know that has nothing to do with the topic, but that's to show you, for the part that pertains to the topic, that you don't know who you're dealing with. And here she was saved and sanctified, and my own term that I use, she was all pornoed up, waiting to see. And was it because of me? It's because she was jealous of Miss Scurv. That's all. How can she get someone like him, which I don't know what I am, right? I mean, I know what I am. Don't soundbite me on that, right? And there's people who feel that way. They feel they deserve what you have over you having it because their list or their so-called standards or their status, I should be able to command. I should have that. Not him or not her. It should be me. I'm better than her. She's a peasant. I'm educated. I have degrees. I have status. I have power. I can make a phone call and make a difference in somebody's life. How dare she? You better wonder. You better know who you're around. There are dudes I know for many years. They're just so damn materialistic. Like I'm gonna compete on that level. That has nothing to do with that. I'm just saying you have different types of people, different types of mentalities. And they're coming around you, despising you and smiling, wanting to wreck your world. And we ain't gonna be here forever. By a show of hands, how many people are gonna be here 100 years from now? How many people are gonna be here 50? We don't know. I might be 112. World's oldest blogger, Lancescurv. Welcome to the LanceScurv show. I might not be shaking. We don't know. So why are you going to waste your time playing these games, driving on the highway at 80 miles an hour looking sideways, meaning that you're going through life evaluating and playing the compare game. And we do that, and we end up lots of times focusing on the wrong things. Because I know people that got married because all their girlfriends got married. Oh, I'm the only one left single. I'm the only one who doesn't have a husband. I need to get married. Why? If it's not real, why you want to force something and manufacture something? What kind of game is that? I don't care if you got into your 60s and didn't get married with nobody, but would you rather be in something bad? Something toxic? Something that has you on the phone? Oh, I did this. I don't know why I got married. It wrecked up my whole life, wrecked up my credit, turned all my friends away from me. I just don't think. Think. You better think. Go back to the old songs. They got all the wisdom. Imagine that. Take your time. Get yourself right first. Because I know people who are in their 70s. I know a woman, 74. And to me, from what I see, dudes are pursuing her. Because just like I said earlier, when a man needs to be a man to know what his mission is, to know what his goals are, to be disciplined, and he knows where he's going, and how that pulls. Oh, I don't mean pull like you're just out there waiting to get pulled in by some tide, but it attracts you. Like, wow, he's not just some dude chasing fads. He's solid in how he lives. He lives disciplined. And the same thing when a man sees a woman of principle that way. Yeah, she can have fun and cut a little word or something every now and then. I'm not saying to be old marching, I'm perfect. No, I don't mean that. But you're digging it, you're checking around like, wow, I like the way she lives. She's not all up and down the streets. Her girlfriends, meaning her friends are in a circle that she's known a long time, they're about something. Birds of a feather flock together. Lives disciplined. I haven't heard a bad word about her, and I've seen her. I saw in Walmart the other day, the supermarket, the way she carried herself, the way she was dressing. Oh, she's got a beautiful body, but she's not putting it out there like that. And again, fellas, it's not about this beautiful body. It's not about this butt thing going on TikTok and on Instagram. Just keep doing me like that. I pulled up my Facebook and there was 3 different things and butt shaking. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? You get caught up in that. There are unlimited butts in the world and shapes and friction and suction and all. There's some women out here who are damn near built like olive oil that will rock your mental, emotional, and spiritual world and the physical. Huh? You know, they'll rock your world from what they can do inside here, because anybody can produce friction. And the best thing is when you know that that woman is yours and she's pledged herself to be with you and you know it. That's the biggest high. Wow. But when you with somebody you don't know how you stand, and you met them just on some fling, some fleeting moment, and then you try to turn it into a relationship, and all it is what it was for that night or week or month, but it ain't long. It's like a possession. You see? I remember when I used to do the bouncing in the clubs there at Orlando after we would get out from working in corrections. They call us, oh, yeah, you want to work tonight? Yeah, let's work tonight. I'm only 5'10". Maybe I'm starting to shrink. I don't know. I don't even know how much I weigh. Maybe 230, 240. I don't know, 225. I don't know. But I was the smallest guy. I was fast. Had this going on. You have to strike quick when you see something going on, but you're sitting up there and you're just watching people. You're a little bored, but you're seeing things and everything. I remember this one guy. He'd come in, and he used to be an inmate at one point at the jail that I worked in. And a lot of the guys that would go to this club, they passed through those doors. Hey, Scurv, man, what's going on, man? Good to see you, man. My nigga, man. All kind of stuff, right? So this guy, came in, and I knew him. I forgot his name. He's standing there with me. He posted up with his drink, checking out the girls. And, I'm next to him, and he knows me. We cool with each other. We never had a problem in the jail. Scurv, man. Look at her over there. What over there? Who you talking about, man? I wasn't really interested. I'm looking at the watch. I want to get my money, want to get my sleep, because I want to try to work another shift on my day off the next day. So this party stopped. One there with the white pants, man, on with them red panties, man. You can't see them red panties, man. I said, yeah, man, I can. So he's like, oh, man. And he had a few drinks. Oh, man. Damn, look at her ass, man. I want to marry her. See? You want to marry her because of her backside? I said, what? Man, I'll marry her. She didn't even turn around. You don't even know what she looks like. And it's not about what she looks like, because the part of her that appealed to him, I said, you serious? You'll marry her? I goofed him because I kept seeing him, right? I see him in the supermarket, see him in the street, the gas station. I wouldn't drag him in front of some family or whatever. If I saw him by himself, I say, hey, man, look at that girl over there. Somebody in some tight jeans. Is he going to marry her? Man, leave me alone, man. I was drunk, man. No, I said, no. Alcohol is an amplifier, okay? Whatever's in you is going to come out, right? If it ain't in you, or if it isn't in you, for those who don't understand that type of language, it's going to come out. It's that sludge at the bottom of the tank, and the alcohol stirs it up. The whole world doesn't see it when you go into your job, you go into your church, you're cutting your grass as a neighbor, waving at everybody and whatever. Good morning, how are you? But hit that liquor. Hit it and watch what happens. Some people get angry. We all know about the violent drunks. Some people just sit there. What are you laughing at? Well, he gets like this every time he's drunk. Some people, I know this one woman, And I know she had things inside of her, not anger, not laughter. She'd take a drink. What's wrong? 3 hours, 3.5 hours to a war off. And she could be at a friend's house and start that. Oh no, don't let her get no liquor. You got anything to drink in the house? No, we ain't got nothing to drink. What's that bottle over there? It's empty. And if you leave and go in the other room or go in the backyard and come back, she found that bottle and she turned it up to her head. How do we know? She's sitting over there. They love me. That girl don't look pretty like me. Took my money. So she would never open up. Know who you're dealing with, y'all. Before you move people in, sometimes you move them in with you, and you regret it. Do this. Yeah? You young guys going to these nightclubs, and you see this woman who you think is so beautiful. She might be intellectual and have things going on. Some people go to clubs just to go to clubs. Most who are driven and, get past a certain age, like they don't want to go there. Not even with their friends to go sit down and mix and mingle with these spirits. I've seen, I'll put it this way. This was 1984. I was 21 years old. And I met this young lady. It was something to do with bodybuilding or the dancing or something. And I met her and we talked and she wanted to come over. She was meticulous in how she kept herself. Got to her place, which was a bit quick, but I wasn't looking for, it was just something, hey, let's invite me over. Let's see. I'm not pressuring nobody or nothing. Place was nasty. I don't want to even get into the detail of how nasty it was, which was a reflection of her. Why would you bring me over, have me come over, and think because one little part of a room that I didn't see all of that? I mean, you can't sweep, you can't mop, roach eggs all under the coffee table. They done laid eggs and left them there and you ain't sweeping. They should, what? And here it is. I asked to use the bathroom. I was afraid to go. I didn't have to, it was just a liquid thing, number one. I'm doing the number one, looking around like, oh my God. She actually wrote on a medicine cabinet mirror and on the wall next to it over the sink. Now this was a Friday or Saturday. She had Sunday written there, Monday written there, Tuesday written there. Well, on Sunday, it was the mailman. On Monday, it was the cashier from the supermarket. She had dudes running up in there. I'm like, I looked in Saturday, Lance, she put my name. Some dude will see her, she was really, really built the way black men like. And see and say, I want to marry her. I'll let her move in with me. Yeah. She might not write the appointments on the medicine cabinet glass, but you'll be out there hard at work. And you might not want to deal with her because she'll allow them roach eggs to be there. The place was nasty. Imagine that. Anyway, go on with so much. It's a crazy world out here. And there's always a lot of drama and then eventually trauma. There are good people out here, but we're moving so fast We have to be careful who we think we're attracted to. And logically, it has to do something for us, just like you have to do something for them, the presence in your life and the boundaries that you have to have, even within living together or married or in a committed relationship. You better go down that line. Go down all the lines and make sure, because even if there's no piece of paper, still the emotional drain and heartbreak and heartache of you spent time with this person, sometimes years, and you realize that, not that you're saying you're better than them, but you realize you made a mistake, and maybe they feel the same way too about you. Having sex, soul ties, makes it harder to break up, even when you know they're bad for you. And there's something about them that you just can't let go. And you forge this partnership, this joining on to being with them. This is why all of this stuff is very important. But it's 2025. People do what they want to do. And I was hard-headed myself in my life. I was, to a point, I did things I wanted to do. Right? I'm wiser, but I could have saved a lot of time with certain things. But I learned. That's why I'm going to tell it. And I tell it. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Not tell it? If there's a road that's dark and ends the instructions, you can just my car got out at the right time. I'm walking down the road. I'm gonna stop people. I don't want to see them drive off the cliff. That's what you're supposed to do. Just be careful, y'all. Anyway, I'm gonna get up early tomorrow. I would love to do a double header. I'm talking about double headers all the time, and I end up doing a longer show. This is not super long, but I wanted to talk about this particular subject. And I'm just glad that everybody's here with me. Glad you spent the time. Let's pop on some music. And if anybody wanted to come in before I left, at the top of the chat room, there's a link. Click it, and you can come on if you want to add something in. So I got to always remember to do that on every show, right? And I do want to plan more call-in shows anyway, and have that interaction going on, because that really spices everything up. Sign off. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off. By now, if somebody wanted to come on, they would come on in. So we're gonna sign off right now. Much love to you all. LanceScurv out. Like I said, we're gonna do it again tomorrow night. Peace. And Malik Aziz tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Muslim Street will be on. They have more guests coming on, and it's always fire when they talk. Anyway, much love to you all. Peace.